Is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The State Minister for Immigration says changes to the Bahamas Nationality Act would not create a loophole. That former cop accused of murdering a Pike worker freed on bail. Power outages throughout the country creating headaches and a deadly weekend. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, June 8th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we are going to get a preview of this weekend's Hope Walk. And later, the Water and Sewage Corporation is celebrating its 50th anniversary. We're talking with them about that. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Minister of State for Immigration Darren Pickstock says that an amendment to the Bahamas Nationality Act, which would allow the Minister of Immigration to grant permanent residency to people whose citizenship applications have been denied, does not represent any major change in the immigration system. In a statement released yesterday, Pickstock said, quote, contrary to some public assertions, the amendment does not establish a new immigration category, create a loophole within the immigration system, provide an alternative route to citizenship. Rather, it modernizes an existing administrative provision and reflects an increase to the associated processing fee. The bill, which was tabled in the House of Assembly last month, would amend Section 7 of the Act, which sets out the circumstances under which individuals who are not entitled to Bahamian citizenship at birth may apply to become citizens. Cases include women who marry Bahamian citizens, individuals born in the Bahamas to non-Bahamian parents, and individuals born outside of the Bahamas to a Bahamian woman who is married to a non-Bahamian man. A former senior policeman accused of murdering an American citizen has been freed on bail after spending 10 weeks in prison. Brunel Pinder, who resigned from the Royal Bahamas Police Force before he was formally charged on May 25th for the shooting of Pike Corporation linesman Cody Castillo, was granted $30,000 bail when he appeared before Justice Renee McKay on Thursday. Under the terms of his release, the 51-year-old Pinder has to wear an ankle bracelet, sign in at a police station 3 times a week, keep a curfew, and surrender into custody on the day of his trial. Pinder's family, including his wife, gathered outside the Supreme Court in downtown Nassau to await his release. Prosecutors took the rare step to charge Pinder with murder following what initially was reported as a police-involved shooting outside of the Plantation Bar and Grill in western New Providence on March 21st. Police initially claimed that Pinder and Castillo had an altercation at the bar. The dispute concerned one of Pinder's female friends, according to well-placed sources. According to the police, Pinder feared for his life after Castillo allegedly drove towards him in his work truck. However, this account was reportedly disputed by video footage from the truck's cameras. Investigations continue into a fatal shooting incident. A 21-year-old man killed in the shooting on Constitution Drive in Chippenham on Sunday. 2 other men, ages 25 and 33, were injured and taken to the hospital. The police began their investigation after being alerted to the incident just before 1:45 p.m. When they arrived at the scene, they found the man with gunshot wounds, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Initial reports suggested that the deceased, along with 2 others, were working under a makeshift garage next to a residence when 2 masked men with high-powered weapons appeared and fired multiple shots. The suspects fled. The injured man, or all the injured men who were shot in the legs, were taken to the hospital by private vehicle. Police are asking for anyone with information to come forward and give them a call. Police in Abaco are investigating a suspected arson incident on Sunday in the Seven Hills subdivision of North Abaco. Initial reports indicate that around 11:25 a.m., an anonymous individual called the Marsh Harbor Police Station to report a trailer fire near a cluster of apartments with flames spreading towards nearby bushes. Officers found a 30-foot trailer completely ablaze. Despite assistance from the volunteer services, the trailer was destroyed. Police have received reports of a blue Japanese vehicle with a rental license plate spotted near the area at the time of the incident. Investigators are actively working to identify that vehicle. A male resident of the trailer telling police that the trailer belonged to his former girlfriend. He reported losing official identification documents, tools, clothing, and other personal items in the fire. Again, investigations continue. A fire at Cat Island's power station, leading to an island-wide blackout there Saturday night. BPL said the fire took place at 7:42 p.m., impacting one of the station's generation units and leading to a loss of power on the entire island. After safely extinguishing the fire, a team began the restoration efforts. However, attempts to isolate South Cat Island and restore power to North Cat Island were unsuccessful. BPL was able to restore power to the north and south feeders on the island, but residents were out of electricity for an 8-hour rotational power supply schedule. Customers south of New Bight Airport remain without power until other repairs were able to be completed. BPL sending out a series of updates yesterday detailing restoration efforts and challenges for New Providence residents yesterday as well. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has a travel advisory for Cuba as the country continues to face challenge supply, food availabilities, transportation, health care, all stemming from an oil blockade initiated by the United States. In a statement released on Friday, the ministry warned travelers to educate themselves on conditions on the island, stating that the issues could impact daily life throughout the country and are subject to change with little notice. Cuba has faced severe consequences following the January capture of former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, ordered by U.S. President Donald Trump. Before Maduro's capture, Venezuela provided Cuba with oil. However, after the president was ousted and the U.S. took control of the country's oil distribution, those shipments stopped. The U.S. also blocked oil shipments to Cuba from elsewhere, leading to a fuel drought on the island. Overseas, Israel and Iran trading fire early today in their first attack since the U.S. struck a ceasefire 2 months ago, threatening to drag the Middle East back into a full-scale war. The war, launched by the U.S. and Israel on February 28th with strikes on Iran, has shaken the global economy, driven energy prices up around the world, and made many basics, including food, more expensive. Officials have been unable to turn the ceasefire into a permanent deal to end the conflict. That ceasefire agreed April 8th. During the truce, Iran has maintained its stranglehold on the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial passage for the world's oil and natural gas, and the primary reason global fuel prices skyrocketed. Israel has continued to strike Hezbollah, Israel's ally in Lebanon, and has pushed deeper into that country. On Monday, Yemen's Houthi rebels, another Iranian ally, fired at Israel and warned that they would target Israeli ships in the Red Sea. With little apparent progress in the peace talks, Israel and Iran firing at each other, and the Houthis joining the fight, the risk of the war fully erupting again appeared higher than at any point since the ceasefire. In his first comment since the exchange of fire, U.S. President Donald Trump writing online, quote, Israel and Iran must immediately stop shooting. An offshore magnitude 7.8 earthquake rocking the southern Philippines today, killing at least 32 people, injuring more than 200, mostly in damaged buildings, and sending a 3-foot tsunami into nearby coasts. A few buildings collapsed and key infrastructure sustained quake damage in the city of General Santos, and tsunami damage was reported in at least one coastal village. Smaller waves were measured in Indonesia and Palau, and as far away as Japan. The quake also triggered a landslide in the southern Philippines area that it killed 13 villagers. And Chinese President Xi Jinping receiving a lavish welcome as he arrived in North Korea today for a rare visit expected to focus on reasserting China's unique influence over the North in return for providing economic and political benefits. China's news agencies reporting that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and his wife welcomed Xi and his wife upon their arrival at Pyongyang's international airport. Xi later arrived at Pyongyang's main square, where military honor guard and thousands of people, including children carrying balloons and hopping, staged a welcoming ceremony. Buildings surrounding the plaza were draped in the two countries' flags. Giant portions of Kim and Xi and red and yellow banners welcoming the Chinese leader, celebrating the nation's friendship and unity. And the winner of Peru's presidential runoff election was not yet known hours after polls closed Sunday, as electoral authorities slowly tallied votes cast for the 9th head of state in 10 years. Figures released by electoral authorities showed conservative politician Keiko Fujimori with a modest lead over nationalist Congressman Roberto Sanchez, with 58% of ballots tallied in a contest overshadowed by people's concerns about surging crime. The outcome, expected to be tight, may not be known for days. The figures showed Fujimori received 5.96 million votes, or 52.6%. Sanchez earned 5.36 million votes, or 47.4%. Unlike the first round vote, no major incidents delayed the opening or closure of voting centers. In the capital, though, voter turnout throughout Sunday appeared lower than in the previous contest, with the packed in many voting centers despite voting being mandatory. Fujimori, daughter of a disgraced former president, and Sanchez, an ally of an ex-president, were on the runoff ballot after beating 33 other candidates in the vote in April, but neither earned even 20% of support. Electoral authorities took more than a month to declare them winners of that contest.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, the Bahamas National 14 under baseball teams both recorded impressive victories at the Pony Caribbean and Latin American Baseball Championships currently underway at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium right here in Nassau. The Bahamas Champs team advanced out of the Labor Day holiday weekend with a 2-1 win-loss record, set to face Venezuela tonight at 7:30 p.m. The team defeated Curacao 11-5 in 7 innings Sunday evening, bouncing back from a tough 13-3 loss to Puerto Rico on Saturday. The Bahamas host team was also in action and pulled off a remarkable comeback victory over Aruba 16-11 to improve its record to 2-1 as well. The host team will play Puerto Rico today at 5 p.m. Cyclists put rubber to the road for the 2026 Bahamas Cycling Federation's National Road Race Championships in Exuma over the weekend. Following 2 days of competition, Rashawn Jones was crowned the overall male champion and Cami Roach claiming the overall female title. ECF President Roy Colebrook speaking about the overall success of the event hosted on one of the family islands for a second consecutive year. His comments in today's Guardian Sports section. And with one of the best players in baseball sidelined with a rib injury, the New York defiant offense from elsewhere, leading into a pivotal stretch of the Major League Baseball season. Jazz Chisholm Jr., one of the players who was expected to step up to the plate. The Bahamian professional baseball player answered the call on Sunday. Chisholm hit a massive 3-run home run, leading the Yankees to a 6-1 victory over their nemesis, the Boston Red Sox, right there at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Speaking of New York, police scuttling an NBA Finals watch party near Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks warning fans to get to Monday's matchup at least 2 hours early as part of enhanced security measures, with U.S. President Donald Trump expected to attend the game. Trump, a longtime Knicks fan who confirmed Friday that he would attend the first NBA Finals game in New York since 1999, he already has attended a number of major sporting events in his second term, including the 2025 Super Bowl, Daytona 500, and Ryder Cup. Part of the fallout from Trump's visit was a cancellation of a Game 3 watch party outside MSG. The New York Police Department Sunday, the decision was made in coordination with the Secret Service. But again, Game 3 against the San Antonio Spurs set for tonight in New York. The Knicks have a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 championships. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. Here's what's happening. We've got an area of deep troughing combined with lingering tropical moisture. All of this is going to generate unsettled weather conditions with scattered showers across the southeast Bahamas today. Meanwhile, a weak pattern and relatively drier conditions across the northern and northwest Bahamas will help to limit shower activity in this part of the country, although patches of shallow moisture and daytime heating could trigger some isolated showers across these areas today. Light to gentle breeze is expected to continue across most of the country as the pressure gradient across the area remains weak. There is a slight risk for strong to severe thunderstorms over portions of the southeast Bahamas this morning through this afternoon. And everyone's being advised to remain hydrated and limit outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours, as the UV index is expected to be in the very high range today. There's also a slight to moderate risk of rip currents affecting all Atlantic exposures. Beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution. Your forecast for today: the extreme northern Bahamas looking at a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 20% chance of isolated showers. Winds east to southeast at less than 10 knots, becoming northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots by this evening. The rest of us in the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, looking at partly sunny conditions today, becoming mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 20% chance of isolated showers. Winds light and variable through this afternoon, becoming northeast to east at 10 knots or less by this evening. The Central Islands expecting variably cloudy conditions through the early afternoon hours, becoming partly sunny by late afternoon and mostly fair through tonight. A 30 to 40% chance of showers through this afternoon, but that should decrease to about 20 to 30% chance by this evening. Winds light and variable through this evening. And the Southeast Bahamas looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with cloud coverage decreasing, with slightly hazy conditions through the evening hours, becoming variably cloudy by tonight. A 40 to 60% chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, decreasing to a 20 to 30% chance by this evening. Winds east to southeast at 10 knots or less through this evening. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit for the northern half Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like it's as hot as 98 Fahrenheit, 37 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Because of the cloud cover for the central and southeast Bahamas, look for highs in the mid to upper 80s, around 85, 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78, 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end?
A break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient custom computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
50 years of nation building, see the legacy we trust. Oh, the water is our lifeline, and the future flows through us. From the ocean, in the sun and in the dust, we are building for tomorrow, and the future flows through us. Yeah, yes, yes, the future flows through us.
The Water and Sewage Corporation celebrated years of nation building.
Your next win is waiting right now at islandluck.com. The quicker you sign up, the quicker you can play, the quicker you can score, and the quicker you can win big. From casino games to sportsbook action and lottery excitement, it's all just a few clicks away. Sign up today at islandluck.com and get in the game instantly. Island Luck. Join the winner's circle now. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Every day in a busy world, we have
to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Patience, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes print for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on Guardian Tom and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Deandra Cartwright. Deandra, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. You're joining us from somewhere other than the studio. Are you able to say where you are?
Of course, of course. I'm joining you all from my beloved Long Island. We just wrapped up our 57th annual regatta.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hope that was a great time for everybody.
I do believe it is. You know, the Long Island Regatta is the second biggest regatta in the country. We had a record 72 boats participating, and we've seen quite a growth of our young sailors inside our smaller class divisions as well. So I think it was a success all around. Just want to say thank you to everybody who supported us. And we're happy to have birthed boat builders in this country, as well as some of the best sailors in the country. And we appreciate our friends coming also to participate in something that we all love.
Nice, nice. So who won?
So overall, I mean, Dwight, I might as well say it's usually these days and times Stephen Knowles and his crew. So the running A-class division, and then we had some of our friends winning some of the other divisions as well. But Stephen got a triple crown, and Georgetown, I believe that is. What that means is that he won A, B, and C classes.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't able to do that this year, but he did top out 2 of those classes.
Okay, great stuff. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that over the next few days in the sports sections.
Hopefully, I'm hoping so, because we didn't get as much coverage as we would have wanted. But hopefully some folks pick it up. We have published everything across our networks. And Dwight, if I might say before we continue, if I do cut out, it's because Long Island is currently experiencing, this has been happening for quite some time now, connections, that's cellular connections. So I'm talking to you now using Starlink because our cellular system is not reliable at all. And I need to say that publicly because I'm quite disappointed. Every Bahamian, no matter where they are, should have access to basic infrastructure. And the fact that I can't have that on my home island, which is a reality for my fellow Long Islanders on a daily basis, is disheartening, discouraging, and then honestly how can anybody be expected to grow and thrive in such an environment? I don't know. I really don't. And it's unacceptable, quite frankly.
Yeah, it's very sad. Wow, I hope everyone's listening and can put some pressure on whomever they need to put pressure on to get this addressed, not just for Long Island, but all over the country, because you're not the only one. Right, exactly. Wow.
Honestly, but yeah, no, it was a fabulous time. I'm happy to be able to join virtually as long as I can this morning and to be able to broadcast from Long Island.
Yeah, they will do the show live there.
Love that.
Great stuff. All right, so that's happening. Also this morning, we're going to be talking about this weekend. I'm sure Deandra's taking part in this. I will be there as well. The Hope Walk. Yes?
You are right. Yes, of
Hope
course.
Walk.
You know, I hardly ever miss a 5K opportunity.
Yeah,
and
we're
why
going to
not
start
this
calling you
particular
5K.
one?
That's your new nickname. But Hope Walk 2026 is Saturday, and we're going to talk with the Gennie Dean, Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group, our dear Duquesa Dean, leading that group, and she'll be here this morning to tell us all about why this is so important for everybody to be taking part in. And later, Water and Service Corporation celebrating its 50th anniversary. We're going to talk with them about that in business. That's all ahead, but we've got a lot to talk about this morning in the news. And in the news, we hope everybody weekend. Randall Fox Labor Day on Friday and a long holiday weekend. Unfortunately, it was a deadly one and a number of incidents all over the country. 3 men dying in weekend shooting incidents in New Providence and Grand Bahama. And very, very, very sad stuff, a number of shootings. And you can read about that in the papers. But, yeah, we've got, I don't know if it's fair to say it's an uptick, but definitely it seemed to have been a little lull a few months back.
I think we could agree that it has been a lull, Dwight, in these types of activity. But honestly, I feel like it almost seems like we're making up for lost time, and I don't like that.
That's scary.
It is very much so. And again, I think we need to make an appeal not only for more peace, but when it comes to data and statistics. So, we're supposing that this is an uptick, but I don't know. But when last have we heard about interventions, about what is being done to potentially counter some of what we may expect to happen? Because I think I'm hearing quite a bit about retaliatory actions and whatnot, but how long do we continue saying that? And then what is actually being done, or what could be done, I guess, is a better question.
Well, we are, I guess, to assume that all the plans that are in place after, when we were seeing spikes, there were lots of initiatives launched, and they were said to be working, and I guess the authorities were saying that that's the reason why you even heard so much about it, because these were working. We hope they're still in place and that nobody let off the gas on that.
Hopefully.
But we are to assume they're still in place, I guess.
Yeah.
But we hope this is just condolences to all those who lost folks and people who've been injured. We know that it's not just like a mosquito bite. You don't get over that in a couple of days. That is often a lifelong challenge to have been shot, and you live with that forever. The pain and disfigurement. But wow, yeah. All right, so you also heard this. This happened on Thursday before the holiday, but that cop who resigned from the force after he was accused of murder has been freed on bail. Our Artesia Davis writing about it. A former senior policeman accused of murdering an American citizen has been freed on bail after spending 10 weeks in prison. Brunel Pinder, who resigned from the Royal Bahamas Police Force before he was formally charged on March 25th for the fatal shooting of Pike Corporation linesman Cody Castillo, was on Thursday granted $30,000 bail when he appeared before Justice Renee McKay. Under the terms of his release, the 51-year-old Pinder has to wear an ankle bracelet, sign in at a police station 3 times a week, keep a curfew, and surrender into custody on the day of his trial. Pinder's family, including his wife, gathered outside the Supreme Court in downtown Nassau to await his release. prosecutors took the rare step to charge Pinder with murder, reported as a police-involved shooting outside the Plantation Bar and Grill in western New Providence on March 21st. Police initially claimed that Pinder and Castillo had an altercation at the bar. The dispute concerned one of Pinder's female friends, according to well-placed sources. Yikes. According to police, Pinder feared for his life after Castillo allegedly drove towards him in his work truck. However, this account was reportedly disputed by video footage from the truck's cameras. Before Pinder's arrest, the U.S. Embassy in the Bahamas released a statement expressing the deepest concern about media reports of Pinder following an unarmed Castillo to his vehicle before the shooting. An embassy spokesperson had said, as you remember, quote, "We urge the government of the Bahamas to ensure the victim receives justice in this case without delay." Castillo and his wife were expecting their first child in August. Pinder's next scheduled court appearance is on July 23rd. He's expected to receive a voluntary bill of indictment that will fast-track his case to the Supreme Court.
Boy.
Yeah, that happened again. That was March 25th, and as you may recall, just a couple of days later, there was another police-involved shooting. But for some reason, that one is one that they want everyone to forget because ain't nothing appears to be happening. That we assume it's going to the coroner's court, but we still have never heard about the officer involved in the matter. He had supposedly been hit with a cutlass. We never heard whether he was okay or sustained life-threatening injuries or anything. Not one word from the police force, the Attorney General's office, the public, nothing. Nobody, not a word. But that person who was killed apparently was a Bahamian. And so we have apparently concrete evidence now that if you are Bahamian, there are different rules if you get murdered in this country versus if you are from somewhere else, especially the United States. So as long as you know, carry on smartly.
Well, I like how you said that, Dwight. We have concrete evidence. I mean, we were all supposing for years now, but I do think it is, again, quite disappointing in these cases. Perhaps there's an explanation, but I got to keep remembering that people think I believe in unicorns, so...
There is an explanation. They don't care about us. That's the explanation.
That's what it is?
Yes.
Are you sure it ain't nothing logical? I asked them for too much, eh?
I mean, that's not logical?
You telling me that our own people don't care about us?
Especially.
Why? That's a hard pill to swallow.
Is it? As you say, they've been telling us that from probably kindergarten.
No, I mean, we've been saying it. I remember from high school tracking the difference in treatment, and I was like, how does this happen in this way?
This is the first pill you're taught to swallow in this country. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see that before the end of the year. But not a word, not a single word. And apparently it's well known that I'm on the radio running on about this all the time, and yet nothing. It's like, let that lunatic continue to say it, but
well, again, Dwight, you have to remember, things don't happen in this country by the majority or by a few special groups. In this case, we see the special group being another country, and the majority of our population tends not to be outraged, at least not for too long.
No.
And unfortunately, our people in charge take that to their advantage. Whereas if there's not enough pressure, or people forget, and we tend to have a very short memory, unfortunately.
It's amazing. But I mean, even the politicians, the political parties, they haven't taken it up. They don't care. Nobody cares. It's like, whatever, who cares? What's the big deal?
No, but again, I mean, you have, there have been several crimes committed against Bahamians over the years, and the families have kept it alive, like the issue, what has happened to their loved one.
Yeah.
And again, if there is not the majority keeping it alive, applying pressure, nothing happens with it. Not a thing.
But we shouldn't be surprised. We've been talking about it for two different cases now over the course of just a month of disabled prisoners or inmates convicted and one on remand who were paralyzed in wheelchairs and wearing adult diapers in the prison, and other inmates are tasked with changing their diapers and sleeping on concrete floors. This is insane. So if that isn't proof enough that they don't care about us, and again, it doesn't matter what they did or allegedly did. This is crazy.
And I reiterate for that particular point because I think when we first brought it up, we were discussing how when we're talking about the whole change from Her Majesty's Prison to the Department of Corrections, the full implementation of what's known as the Nelson Mandela rules, which would dictate how such a place is supposed to be run. And when we think about how it is actually run, it's like, are we actually up to standard? Are we up to
Wait.
code? Do we care about these
Wait,
things?
who
Do we
told you
care
that
about the dignity?
they did that? You heard that that's what they're supposed to be doing there?
They're supposed to be
Oh,
doing
okay,
that,
that's
yes.
hilarious.
Wait, listen, boy.
Jokes. Okay.
Hey, you say
Slop
jokes, but you're
buckets, is that part of the Nelson Mandela rules?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not. I again, I
Another
feel like
inmate changing your adult diaper. Is that? I mean, at least somebody's changing it. But I mean, that's part of the Nelson Mandela rules?
no,
Wow.
again, I think that is not.
Okay.
But then again, we go back to the crux of it, whereas I'm not particularly sure if we're doing as much as we need to be doing to maintain the human rights of our people.
What do you mean by that?
In this
Why are you
country.
being polite? We absolutely are not. You can be 100% sure of that.
Well, anyway, yes, you are correct. We're not doing as much as we can.
You're
I'm not
doing
sure
the
if I can
bare
find-
minimum. The
Well,
bare minimum.
Yeah. But what we know, because we also don't know what the government is doing across the board when it comes to the dignity of our people. But going back to these two cases, I'm literally at a loss of words to ascertain how is it that two of the same type of perpetrator, similar crime, the difference is victim, and we're okay with that as a people. Are we okay with being treated as substandard? Like, I don't get it. And then within that, anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole Family Island thing again. I'm not going to do it today.
Well, I don't know if we're okay. I mean, I agree with you that not enough people are outraged by it, at least publicly outraged.
And consistently outraged.
And consistently, yeah. But there's so many things going on for people to be upset about that I think they're
that goes
stretched
back to what
very,
we
very
discuss
thin.
because that goes back to what we discuss almost every week, I feel. Our people are going through so much that it's almost, it is difficult to maintain consistent between, what is it, you're experiencing crimes to somebody who you know, who you love. You can't afford to pay your bills, feed your children, or whatnot. You're dealing with power outages, water loss, different things like that. That's a daily reality.
Yeah.
The increase in the cost of living, when you have poor health care, working educational system, it's a lot of things happening.
It's a lot. Speaking of power outages, we're going to get to that in a bit. Wide swaths of New Providence tortured overnight. We're going to get into that. But let's take these calls quickly before we do that. Call in as well. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Deandra.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, Deandra. They definitely don't care about us, but, I don't know. I believe Stevie Wonder, Blind Blake, Ray Charles, all of them could come and see that, right? You don't really need to have eyes to see that our governments don't care about us, right? At this point, 54 years old with a 75-year-old hospital, right? How is that care? Then when a 54-year-old country, what didn't develop create one city, one new city was developed nowhere in our country in 54 years. How was that care? There's no way there's no form of care we could see nowhere in this country when it relates to a Bahamian, right? Ain't no care. Because like you said, Dwight, it's just so frustrating, man. If you care about us, give us our Freedom of our Information Act. If you care, about the Bayman people, but he don't care. The police, the case this police what you was trying to get this information months now from the time that incident happened about because there's no care in the Bahamas. And then one other point, when it relates to the crime, Dwight, you and DeAndre, you all have to know why the crime is escalating back the way it was before, right? Because why? The political people had these fellas them on lock, paying them every day.
What now?
Now the party is over. All the parties are over, Dwight. You can get a win of this. All of the parties are over. There's no more parties, Dwight.
That's really crazy.
That's the Bahamas.
What?
That's us, Dwight. And you know who's taking advantage of us? The same people we keep putting in power. They just take advantage of us because they know how we go. And unfortunately, Bahamians don't know how they go. Have a nice day, Dwight.
All right, that's a serious claim there, but okay. Although, I mean, although with all the links to whatever and whomever and which organization, everybody seems to sometimes, it might not be much of a stretch, but that's a serious claim. I don't think you should make those claims unless you have some evidence to support that. That's some wild stuff. But wow.
Very wild.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, DeAndre.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Dwight, I was trying to give you the inside scoop, but you wouldn't, I never talked to you on the phone. I know the officer very well, but I wouldn't say anything else. But, it's obvious. Sometimes it's good to let callers express themselves. I care, you care, the collective care is where the snares are, okay? Because we don't care collectively because of the schisms. Now, our politicians, both past and present, are busy mortgaging the archipelago, just like politicians all over the world. There's a book called Mortgaging the Earth, and the collective citizen will be hurt, because we don't realize what's going on. There's a poverty is the real, Dwight, we can see from the justice system how it's set up. We saw a lady on Facebook the other day talking about how funds was taken during a search. I've mentioned it. Other people have mentioned it. All of a sudden, the guy Marvin in Maradon, his case came up after he died. I don't know who lied, but his widow has cried, right? So what I'm saying is, why would a citizen suggest the police officers move $9,000? Do you think someone will come out and say that just... And so the statement was there's no evidence, right? And so they're investigating themselves, and in the 21st century, you and I effectively, and do raids without cameras and without documentation. What I would appreciate if someone in the media, I don't know, I wish I was, because I'll play some songs that you got. There's a song sung by a guy called Prince David, and it's a song about George Floyd, and it says that the power with oppression and police. And so what happens is, as the collective, we have no say. So you in the newspaper, I think it's the Guardian, I don't know what, it says that there's no evidence that this money was taken, and somebody is forsaken. Why is it that the citizens are always on the losing end of the stick? They don't care. We can see it, Mr. Strawn. It's clear for us to see. So when the previous caller, he made a statement. But people are intelligent enough to decipher truth from lies. So it's not, the burden doesn't lie on you once the person isn't saying anything that defames anybody, or, you know what I mean? So, I mean, why is it that we try to control? We're being ostracized out of our beaches. We're being ostracized out of our country. Nassau is only 7 by 21. Why can't you guys believe that, right, if I have a dog cage, and I put 12 dogs in a cage that only expect to house 3 or 4 cows, we don't need to be too dogmatic about our disciplines and our lifestyles. We need just do an archival research on all of the injustices for the past 10 years. You saw the one in Dunnorage. You saw what happened in Foxhill Station. You saw what happened in Chris Culman in Central. If you dig up these things, you will find out that a lot of officers are not warranted for respect, And we just been wallowing for decades, and nothing has happened. Now something happened on the plantation. We're taking concern about it. And I'd like to say condolences to the widow of the guy that was killed. I can't remember his name, Dwight, but I was born in August, so my mind went on me. So I don't know how she's coping, but it's really, the fact that the truth is coming out. So how many other instances in which the truth was suppressed if we're learning about a deviant narrative as compared to this particular incident at plantation? We are still on the plantation. Give thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. One more call, and we gotta move on. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, the guest.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I share the same sentiments as 52 and the other guy. If you really want to see if the government care, listen how the public crying out to the government that they don't want this Immigration Act change. But then listen to Mr. Pickstock. Making excuses why they should. You know what I mean? This is crazy.
All right, we're gonna get. We're gonna get to that in a few minutes. We can get to that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Tell them, listen to the people,
Did you
they
read
ain't gonna
this?
better work for themselves.
Did you
Listen to
read
the
the
people.
statement from Pickstock? Did you read it?
I listened to it on the radio just now. It was a while ago before when you all
All right,
played
so
it.
we can get a little bit deeper into it, and we'll discuss whether it's a reasonable statement or not. I don't know if it's not reasonable. I can't say that so far, but let's get into it. So don't jump to any conclusions before you read the whole thing. You want to squeeze that in? Yeah. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Thank you much. I'll try and make it quick. Serious claims, but some things are so obvious, but you just gotta, there's this serenity prayer where you have to accept some things that you really can't change, and then what you could change, find the courage to do it, and then be smart enough using wisdom to know the difference, so you don't go after those things that you can't change. The different rules, apparently, for Bahamians and others. I see people who come to this country and have a 5-gallon jug on the street collecting $1 bills, and a couple of years they're living in a pretty decent home. But you can't really say that they made it from the money on the street. They may have had help somewhere. So we have to just look at trend of changes, right? So just because we call ourselves democracy, maybe we can stay that way. As you can clearly see, a new voting pool is right in front of us being created.
Oh.
And bye-bye.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay, you want to?
Are you at a loss of words?
I feel like this is like what are they? In the morning you need your morning constitution, and the callers are using this as that. Maybe we can get one of the.
I think so.
One of the manufacturers, Kohler or Toto, or one of them to sponsor this part of the show.
Oh, goodness.
Because it's just like, let it all out, everybody. Let it all out. It seems. That's how it feels sometimes. So, God. One more. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Deandra.
Hi, good morning.
I like that you, for a very long time, has asked for an explanation for that police that shot the guy about the cutlass on Montague and hasn't gotten. And now the issue with the police that shot the Pike worker, who, when he committed that act, was a police officer and was allowed, it seems like chicanery to me, or trickery to achieve a political, financial, or legal purpose, and was allowed to resign. That's what they said, right?
Okay. He resigned. Yes. He's no.
Well, when he committed that act, he was a police officer. If you were to shoot someone on your job, you would be fired promptly. And I mean, it's disingenuous for us to accept that he's going to walk away with a package and resign later after he committed that act as a public officer, and the person who was shot by the police, like you have been advocating for the time it happened. That was last year sometime, right?
That was in March.
Oh, in March. Yeah, well, however long. And you haven't gotten any explanation. We can see clearly how they allow certain persons to get away with certain things. And, I mean, I wouldn't even mention what I'm going through for 3 weeks now. Okay. You know what I mean? So y'all, just stand there, be strong, and, and they said you have to let people express yourself and see where they come from.
To a certain extent, because you all don't get threatened with lawsuits every single day, but we do. So it's not gonna be like that. It's not going to be like that. You just can't get on the radio. You could do that at your bar and in the back of your yard, but you can't get on the radio and just say any old thing. And so let's just catch yourselves right there. Okay. Thank God, it's time to go to the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This magic moment, so different and so new, but like any other.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, now at 8:15, it is time for a check of weather brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Sherwin-Williams reminding you that if you're looking to paint, Sherwin-Williams has what you're looking for, top quality paints and expert advice to help you save. Only at Sherwin-Williams. So here's what's going on. Troughing combined with lingering tropical moisture, that's going to continue to support unsettled weather across the southeast Bahamas today. That'll be scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Meanwhile, a weak ridging pattern and relatively drier conditions across the northern half of the country will help to limit shower activity there, although patches of shallow moisture and daytime heating could trigger some isolated showers and thunderstorms across that part of the country. Light to gentle breezes expected for most areas as the pressure gradient across the area remains weak. Now, over the next few days, the southeast Bahamas will remain under the influence of lingering troughing and enhanced tropical moisture through at least early Wednesday morning, resulting in higher shower and thunderstorm activity across that part of the country. By late Wednesday, the trailing end of a frontal boundary moving along the eastern flank of the islands may lead to a temporary increase in shower and thunderstorm activity for the northern half of the Bahamas before eventually shifting eastwards into the Atlantic. By the weekend, though, a mid to upper level disturbance from the west combined with a surge in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico forecast to move into the area. That's going to increase shower and thunderstorm activity across a good portion of the country, the northwest, into early next week. In the meantime, for today, there is a slight risk of strong to severe thunderstorms for the southeast Bahamas this morning through this afternoon. And everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours, especially for the northern and northwest Bahamas. UV indices expected to be in the very high range. There's also a slight risk of rip currents for all Atlantic exposures. So your forecast for today for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly sunny, becoming mostly fair tonight, only about a 10 to 20% chance of isolated showers. The extreme northern islands looking at a mix of sun and clouds today, becoming mostly fair tonight, a 20% chance of showers. Variably cloudy early afternoon hours for the central islands, becoming partly sunny by late afternoon and mostly fair by tonight, with a 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. And for the southeastern islands, partly cloudy with cloud coverage decreasing, along with hazy conditions through the evening hours, becoming variably cloudy tonight. A 40 to 60% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms today, but that should fall off to a 20 to 30% chance for the entire southern half of the country by this evening. Temperatures today, depending on where you are, the northern half of the country, looking at highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like it's closer to 100, about 98 Fahrenheit, 37 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. For the central southern Bahamas, because of the cloud cover and the rain, you're looking at highs in the mid-80s, maybe 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook, for tomorrow, Tuesday, partly cloudy for the southeastern islands, a mix of sun and clouds elsewhere. Slightly elevated chances for rain still for the southeastern islands. By Wednesday, all areas looking at a mix of sun and clouds, with only about a 10 to 30% chance of showers. Thursday, partly cloudy for the northernmost islands, but a mix of sun and clouds for most areas. And that should hold into Friday, when we start to see rain chances ramping up slowly as we head into the weekend. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by the Hope Walk 2026, which is this weekend. Join the Gennie, Dean, Caring, and Sharing Cancer Support Group for Hope Walk 2026, Saturday, June 13th at 6 a.m. at Goodman's Bay Park. Walk in honor of a survivor, in memory of a loved one, or simply to support those facing cancer today. Register now at gccancersupportgroup.com. And at 8:20, time for a check of traffic, brought to you by NUA Insurance, agents and brokers. In your real-time traffic, we've got a number of hotspots for you. You've got Prince Charles Drive ahead into Robinson Road. You're going to be seeing that very heavy, slow-moving traffic westbound, especially west of Beatrice Avenue, straight through into Robinson, all the way up to Marathon East-West Highway Trail. And Old Trail looking busy for you both directions, but mainly northbound, north of Soldier Road right now. Soldier Road is going to be busy for you near Windsor Place and all the way up to that intersection with East Street. East Street busy north and south of the intersection, mainly northbound, all the way up to East-West Highway and the roundabout there. Independence Drive, both directions seeing heavy traffic for you this morning. Blue Hill Road, slow-moving traffic for you just near St. Vincent Road, but especially once you get nearer to Carmichael, which is backed up a bit as well. And from there to just north of Soldier Road, but not looking so bad once you get over that hill. So there might be some traffic assistance for you there, which is causing the backup on Independence Drive. Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic for you from Fire Trail all the way up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. That's northbound. And east and westbound along Tawny Williams Darlings Highway, you're going to be seeing that slow-moving traffic there. And pockets along Carmichael westbound to Coral Harbor Road. West Bay Street near Saunders Beach, as usual, the very slow-moving eastbound traffic near the roundabout with the Providence Highway. And then again, heading into downtown, just east of Arawak Key, you're going to be seeing that slow Nassau Street traffic eastbound and getting onto Bay Street as well. Good luck to you out there. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance, agents and brokers. Whether you're on the road or planning your next move, they've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
We buy, you sell. We buy, you sell. promise. We cut the high cost of living all over the Bahamas. We buy you sell at submission. A multi-purpose hardware store. Solar lights, the tiles galore. Building supplies, windows and doors. Everything in hardware we got and more. Products better than the rest. Top quality, we have the best. We deliver to your address. You'll get a call or a text.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Hope still lives in community. Join the Gennie Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group for the Hope Walk 2026 on Saturday, June 13th at 6 a.m. at Goodman's Bay. Walk alongside survivors, patients, caregivers, and families as we come together in support. Enjoy fellowship, vendors, activities, and our inspiring Hope concert immediately following the walk. Register at gdcancersupportgroup.com.
Baby, you don't understand. Look how my booty shaking, waistline moving, gyrating. You ain't on my level. All you good for is taking. Acting big, but you're faking. Run up to this if you're serious. 'Cause I don't want no business. Run up to this, shoot your shot, don't miss. Boy, don't waste my time. Run up to this if you're serious. 'Cause I don't want no business. Run up to this, shoot your shot, don't miss. Boy, don't waste my time.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeAndrew Cartwright on this Monday morning. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to get details on the Hope Walk 2026, which is Saturday, with the Gennie Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group. We'll get all the details. And then later, we're talking with Water and Sewerage Corporation, their 50th anniversary. Get some details about that as well. That's all ahead, but we continue to talk about what's in the news today. We've been talking about some crime situations. We're going to get into a rough weekend, especially yesterday here in New Providence, Cat Island. There was a fire, and that led to an island-wide catastrophe there. And, just been rough, very, very, very challenging. But the widespread nature of the issues in New Providence, just very, very interesting. The statements that BPL is putting out as well. Just what is really going on there. We're going to get into that, but we do want to touch on the statement that was put out by the Ministry of Immigration. So we'll get to that right now. Let me just read the messages left over from our previous discussion before the break. This texter says here, the onus is no longer just on the government. The onus is on all of us. It is not simply that we do not care about us, that they do not care about us. Our actions suggest that we do not care enough about ourselves. Every 5 years we vote, then surrender our authority. Well, some of us.
Surrender.
Some of us. Politicians come from us, yet we elevate them beyond accountability. Some of us. People will only do what we allow. Until we demand better, we will continue to receive stew, crack, grill, and nothingness salad. Eat up. Wow. Wow. You're right, though. You are right. Sad. This is about power issues, but they're saying, thank God for my rechargeable fan last night. Power was out in Seabreeze for several hours. And see, this is the thing. It's at first they were saying it was Western New Providence, but then you keep hearing reports from people, and it was everywhere. Western, Central, South Central, almost East, kind of East, North. But wow. Anyway, this person says here, we are feeling the progress now. Energy reform, Eastern Providence, New Providence has been terrible since electricity supply, since the election. Oh, really? Looks like we're going to have another 2019 summer the way we're going. Yikes, 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 yikes. This text says they bring back hanging. I'm going to edit this to say you mean executions, right? Okay. These murderers will not stop until someone is executed. It might not stop the killing, but it will surely deter it. It surely won't. It surely won't. But it would cause some more people to die. Yes. Okay. The Bible also says love conquers all things and that all things are possible via God. I don't believe collectively we can't change anything. You don't believe collectively we can't change anything. Okay. The public is well aware that Okay. Let's get to it right now. Oh, take the call? Yeah. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Ms. Cartwright.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning. Dwight, I'd like to chime in on the headline if you don't mind. I have a question.
Which one?
The headline newspaper with Michael Alquitas.
Okay.
That's fine?
I mean...
Okay. Because I'm heading to the water. Okay, Dwight. Before 21, then Mr. Alquitas became minister again. He was a senator. Is that correct?
I believe.
Okay.
Well,
He's a senator.
Well, actually, was he?
Sorry? Yes, I think he was government leader, government senator as well.
Sure.
Yes. Is the senator also a public figure?
I got to verify that. But of course, the senator is.
Great. Okay, so either when Minister Alquitas was a part of this company, he was either a senator or a minister. Right?
Now, he wouldn't have been no. I'm not sure about these dates. We have to check
if
on
not
it.
the minister, at least a senator, right? Government senator to lead the government business. Okay. Fred, Mr. Mitchell referred to something last week at nothing breaker. Is it the same case? Basically, that's a nothing breaker.
Yeah.
That's somebody's asking for a minister to resign. Do you know if you're on the same event?
Yeah, this is the same.
Okay, great. But Dwight, listen, like I always say, a part of the Westminster system also say that if the impropriety is a major one, whether it's correct or incorrect, and it also causes too much public distraction, then the person who was ahead of the thing, obviously, or benefit must resign. But you know, Dwight, I see that though Minister call it a nothing breaker. I don't like to brag, but I believe I know more about breaker than him. And to me, this is what I call a messy breaker. And eventually, this distraction that causes the government to obviously slow down from carrying their agenda, if it doesn't resign, obviously what they're doing is they're just playing football with the Westminster system. That means they're kicking the can, they're using it to whenever they want to. But you know...
Okay, well, I don't think he was a senator during this period where he was the president. I don't think that was when he was in opposition. The government was in the opposition. So, but I hear you. A distraction. The calls will continue, and we'll see. Is it a distraction? Is it... there are two types of distractions.
Distractions.
Right? There's a distraction that prevents you from doing work, and then there's a distraction that keeps the people focused on something else while something else is going on over there. And got to be careful that you're not, being... But that's all we're going to say on that one today. So let's get to this really quickly. I want to read the statement entirely from the State Minister for Immigration. And we talked about this on the show last week, the change that they were seeking to make to the Nationality Act. So this was the statement that was released yesterday from Darren Pickstock, the Minister of State for Immigration. So it says the Bahamas Immigration Department wishes to address public commentary regarding the Bahamas Nationality Amendment Bill 2026. Contrary to some public assertions, the amendment does not establish a new immigration category, create a loophole within the immigration system, or provide an alternative route to citizenship. Rather, it modernizes an existing administrative provision and reflects an increase to the associated processing fee. Under the existing constitutional framework, individuals who qualify may apply to be registered as citizens of the Bahamas. All applications are reviewed by the Immigration Board of the Immigration Department and ultimately determined by the executive branch. In cases where citizenship is not approved, the executive branch may, after consideration or considering the applicant's circumstances and connection to the Bahamas, may determine its status and recommend that it be granted. Under the current arrangement, applicants pay $50. $50. With this amendment, the processing fee will be $500. The department wishes to strongly emphasize that the eligibility criteria for permanent residency remain unchanged. All applications will continue to undergo rigorous review, enhanced due diligence, and careful adjudication in accordance with all applicable laws and established procedures. All right, so we talked about this last week, that whether minister means just one person, it usually does not. Right? So still dealing with the immigration board, still going before the executive branch, and not just one, even though we've seen some strange things, but usually not determined by just one person. So does that change your view on this matter, that the average fee is $50, but this would increase it to $500, and that the requirements remain? It won't be like how the Senate works. It just won't be losing your House race. It'll still have some requirements. What do you say to that? Let's hear from you really quickly before we have to take a break. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Has it changed your view on anything at all? That previous caller didn't sound like he was very enthused about it. What say you, caller? Good morning. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, DeAndre.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. If I'm to believe that the statement by Mr. Pickstock, then I must be living on Mars or Jupiter, because nothing that he said that this is just an area that the present government thought that they'll make readily available to grant permanent residencies to those persons who are being rejected. Because remember, they're trying to use the Nationality Act. They don't want this thing to be as it is entrenched in the Constitution. And this is where I have a problem with what the government intend to do. Because it's quite obvious that they want to circumvent the Constitution, which they have done in several different
how is it quite obvious? And what's your issue with permanent residency?
Permanent residence shouldn't just be granted to persons because the mere fact that they were rejected. There's a reason why they were rejected citizenship, right? And so this idea of using this second tier of to say, well, once you've been rejected citizenship, we'll just give you permanent residence, which means you don't have the right to vote.
They're saying it isn't going to be quite as simple as that. They're
It's
saying
right
that
in
requirements.
because I don't believe that they're ever going to be transparent, because when you look at what has happened in terms of citizenship being given out in a graveyard, I mean, what comfort do you think the Bahamian people have in the immigration department to pursue this matter in the way it ought to be done? I don't have any confidence in them, and I speak for myself and many others. Mm-hmm. I have no confidence that this process would be adjudicated properly.
So what would help you to have more? What would help you to have more confidence? What would you want to hear? What would you need to be changed so that you can have confidence in the system?
Well, we need to make the PLP have sufficient people right now within the Constitution realm to make constitutional changes to the Immigration Act if they're really serious about dealing with immigration, but they're not. It's quite obvious.
I mean, we'd have to make the change.
We could amend Section 7 and 7.1 of the Constitution. See, that could be amended effective today. if that's what they choose.
Well,
but they want to go down a
we'd have
different
to have a
path.
referendum.
Not effective date.
We'd have to have a
today.
referendum. It wouldn't just.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, the women will approve that referendum.
So you say.
But they don't want to go down that road. They want to find the easy way out to appease those persons who would have voted for them in the last election. Some of those persons who would have voted for the PLP in the last election. That's what this is all about. This is all about what transpired in the last election, just within the last month. That's it.
Okay, a lot of assumptions.
To this matter, there's nothing that they want to do that will make this country better. They would only want to bring about some other people, as citizens that are not qualified, and so they're trying to circumvent the Constitution. Dwight is plain and clear.
I'm not sure that's true, but okay, I hear you. Wow. The conspiracies are just flying. But as I said last week on the show, it would be good to know how many people are rejected, right? What are we dealing with? How many people just don't apply and don't meet the criteria and are rejected and apply for permanent residency instead? And what are we potentially facing? But I mean, to think that this is some underhanded, I do think people need to calm down a little bit. I understand why you're frustrated. I completely get it. And they have created this scenario where no one trusts anything that anyone says or does. Successive governments have done this, but we do need the rhetoric to be dialed back a little bit so we can function. You were saying, Deandra?
No, I was going to say, it sounds like you're the one believing in unicorns today, asking for information so that we can actually.
That's me. That's so easy. You could actually literally get that together by this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
That's so easy.
Let's see if tomorrow morning you have it then.
Well, I won't. Can't even get a response on what happened to the person who was murdered by an off-duty cop in the street. Can't even get that. So, of course, I'm not expecting anything. But it's not hard. It's not hard.
Well, a lot of the information we ask for, I feel like it's not that difficult to put together. No. Information is just made public. We can do it ourselves, but we just simply don't have access to it.
Well, I tell you, right? They don't care about us. Let's take this call. Really,
that song. They don't care about.
I think we may need to. Let's play this. Let's talk to this caller. Let's talk to this caller right now. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Deandra and the wider Bahamas, Seattle and Johnson.
Hi.
Dwight, you talk about care about us, right? I think it's not a matter of care, I think it's a matter of confidence. A lot of time people say it's that they know what to do, but they don't want to do it. I think that they just don't have the confidence to actually do it.
Oh my!
So we have moved back into another cycle of 5-year celebrities with songs like governance. On the immigration issue, the question is that where's the concept note or the green paper or the white paper that actually gives us the details about this? And so this is the question is, permanent residency, is it permanently locked into that you can't apply for citizenship later? How many of those individuals, is it 5,000, 10,000, 20,000? Is it retroactive? So it's a lot of questions that has to be answered, but it gives the power to the minister. So the problem with this is that we hear us talk about inclusivity and involvement and with us, but we don't seem to get this from government. And so the problem is that we have basically let me use the word my wife says, learned helplessness. It's the conditioning that they have put upon us. The problem is that this type of thinking, this type of behavior is going to be detrimental for us in this era of the 21st century. And so here it is that here we are, right, in the age of information, that we can't get simple information from government in regards to what governing for us. You know what they have declared for us, Dwight and Deandra? Mm-hmm. There's a statement that says governance without the consent of the governed is the definition of slavery. They said, get back to the plantation. You're nothing but slaves. Get used to the idea.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, this one needs an education campaign. They need to go come and talk to the talk shows, talk to the media. Let's understand it. Let's work through it. And okay, I get it. That makes sense. That's cool. Oh, how about you think about this? Something like that. Just don't explain it to the people. explain it to the people. Can we expect that? Will we see
Well,
it?
you have your expectations.
Will we see it?
Again, I
I
feel
don't
like you're the one believing in unicorns today.
I mean, this is so easy. This is like not even low hanging. This is on the floor. It's on the ground.
It's on the floor?
It's on the
Is
ground.
it rotten fruit?
It's not. It could get rotten very soon. It's hot, but don't let it get to that point. Caller, what say you? Are you there? Good morning. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're live. Hi. Good morning. We can hear you.
Yes, Dwight.
Hi.
How much years does one need to spend within the Bahamas before they can apply for citizenship?
It seems to be depending on who you are. I don't know what the rule is, but I've seen some things. If you look at what's in the newspaper, some people who just reach are applying for citizenship already, and many have been here longer than probably Deandra's been on this planet and haven't received it yet. So I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. It seems. Just say, right? People just reach. But you're gone. Why did you ask?
To apply for Bahamian citizenship, you must be a legal permanent resident for at least 10 years.
Huh!
A female-specific criteria.
Well, there you go. See, and that one there, because that means you could, after only a few months probably, right? If you're a spouse.
A female spouse.
Female spouse. Mm-hmm. Permanent resident for 10 years, eh? Sure.
Right now.
Let's read these messages before we go to the break. This person says here, yeah, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes.
There are about 3 other parts to that too, though, for citizenship. Be born in the Bahamas after 9th of July to non-Bahamian parents. Be a child, or biological, who has at least one Bahamian parent, naturalized or otherwise. Be a child born in the Bahamas to non-Bahamian parents.
Yeah, so you see, it depends. It really does.
And then going back to the legal permanent resident portion of it, it actually says including for the legal status of 10 years, there's a clause to that, including the 12 months immediately preceding the date of application, and who has resided in the Bahamas for a minimum of 6 years preceding the 12 months mentioned above.
Wow.
But like you say, seemingly this is flexible.
Oh, boy. This texter says here,
let me find permanent residency.
This person says, look at the Constitution. It clearly lays out a process for how one can become a citizen or permanent resident. Why are we giving it out one shot? I don't think that's what's happening, texter. I don't think that's what's happening. Allow the person who's applying to be here to prove themselves approved. That's not happening.
Say it again. What?
It's not just like you walk in and order number 3 on the menu and then you get it. It's not like that. It's not like that.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 eligibility categories for permanent residence here. Spouse of a Bahamian after 5 years of marriage and whose marriage is subsisting and the couple cohabiting as husband and wife. Persons born legitimately outside of the Bahamas to a married woman who is a citizen of the Bahamas and whose husband is not a citizen of the Bahamas. The residency status, and those are the persons making a minimum investment of $1 million. Police and prison officers employed in the government service for a minimum of 10 years. Teachers employed in the government service or by charitable or religious institutions for a minimum of 10 years. Nurses employed by in the government service or with private hospitals or healthcare facilities for a minimum of 10 years. Ministers of religion / priests having been employed for a minimum of 20 years. Doctors / medical professionals who have been employed for a minimum of 20 years. Persons who have held legal work permit status for more than 20 consecutive years. Persons who resided in the country for at least 10 and less than 20 years and who hold a work permit in any of the scales 5 to 8.
Okay. It's a lot.
That's
a lot.
Several categories right there.
So
and
again,
several forms.
To the texter, it's not just you walk in and say, "One, if I can't have this, give me that one, and here's my 500." No, but it would be good to know how many people are rejected for citizenship and what happens to them. We said it. Are you just told, "Oh, we'll come back next year and try again," or are you deported, or are you told you need to get on a plane and show us evidence that you've left? What happens to them? Or are they allowed to stick around until they are successful? So many questions, and we need the Department of Immigration to do a better job of letting people know what exactly is going on here.
I have a question, Dwight. We were saying $50 about what exactly again?
They're saying that's what the current application fee is, and they're moving
I'm
it
looking
from
at
50
for citizenship or for permanent residence?
permanent residency.
Oh, because the page that I'm looking at on immigration.gov.bs, actually, the permanent residence application requirements, the first one is a $200 non-refundable processing fee.
Mm.
That's the very first.
Well, they're saying it's jumping to 500.
Okay.
So maybe there's a different one that's 50. I don't know, but
I don't
but it's
know. Let me
moving to
check see if that's
500.
permanent residence. I'm sorry for citizenship, but this is what this is saying for the processing fee.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's another fee hidden in here. I don't see it, but
As we go to a break, let's read these messages. This person says here, do you see anyone going to court found guilty, one shot, or do they go through a process? What? What's that? What's your point? Anyway, once these people get permanent residency, they will have the right through our Constitution to later apply for citizenship. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. The rhinos the rhinos are the unicorns. So technically, there is hope. Endangered, but hope. I don't know about that. Okay. And Nassuvians are too politically involved. They can't see nothing other than colors, even if it's beneficial to the country. I don't think that's right either. But okay, texters. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We're going to be back. A whole lot more to talk about on this Monday. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Shoot your shot, don't miss. Boy, don't waste my time. Run up to this if you're serious. 'Cause I's a woman of business. Run up to this, shoot your shot, don't miss.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, arms at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we can sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that
Yes,
helps us to
yes.
relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use.
Mm-hmm.
So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use tech the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Are you a tourism business owner or ready to become one? At the Tourism Development Corporation, we work with tourism entrepreneurs at every stage, turning ideas into thriving businesses and helping existing ones. From business development support and funding opportunities to targeted initiatives and strategic partnerships, we're here to help you take that next step. Build your future in tourism with the Tourism Development Corporation. Visit tdcbahamas.com to learn more.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola are
giving you the chance to experience the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, July 3rd through 5th. Upgrade any premium lunch combo to a large with the co-product for your chance to win. Win cash prizes, travel vouchers, or the grand prize, a VIP trip for two to Essence Fest. Grab a day single, Asiago Ranch, Chicken Club, or 3-piece tenders combo today. Eat big, sip Coke, win big with Wendy's and Coca-Cola. Rules and restrictions apply.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Simple.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
You can be the outcast to be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle need your skin. Kept on the inside and no sunlight. Sometimes a shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave with what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. Just want to see you. I just want.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with DeAndre Cartwright. Changing gears this morning, the Hope Walk 2026, just a few days away. And the Gennie Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support with this here to tell us all about this. We're very pleased to welcome our dear friend and co-host here at Morning Blend, but she's also the group president of the Gennie Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group, Duquesa Dean. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here on Monday.
Yeah, always a pleasure. And you also have with us a survivor, Shavonnya Marshall. Shavonnya, great to have you with us as well. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here. Thank you.
All right, so Duquesa, let's begin with you. So this is a very special Hope Walk 2026 in honor of our friend, our colleague, Anita Rolle. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Anita's role, pardon the pun, in all of this, and just why this is going to be a really special one this year.
Well, I was actually just looking through some videos of last year's walk and got really emotional seeing Anita walking around, making sure everything was organized in the survivors walk. Anita passed away unexpectedly, and it's left a void in all of the spaces that she occupied and let her light shine in. And so when Anita passed away, it was just fitting to do a big tribute to Anita at our walk in recognition of all of the work that she has done to support the Gennie Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group. Anita was selfless in her service. She gave of herself in ways that we didn't even expect. She helped to open new doors for us. She shared our group and the work that we're doing with many of her contacts and used her influence for the group to get more visibility and also more support from her network. And that was tremendous. She also came up with wonderful ideas. As a survivor, she had firsthand, knowledge of the struggles that people go through once you get your diagnosis. And then, of course, even after treatment, because many people believe it all goes away once your treatment is done, but it lingers for life. And so she was able to help us strategically have programs that help even in survivorship. Like I Step Into Wellness program, it was actually her brainchild to have movement once a month, and also to help with food. And that's the reason why we open our pantry as well. So her void is tremendous. It's, she would have been right here on the show with us this morning promoting the walk. And so, it's a small token that we're doing in comparison to the big work that she did for our group.
Yeah, wow. It's just going to be something to do this without her, eh? But I know she definitely would want us. So let remind folks about what it is that Gennie Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group does and how the Hope Walk helps.
Absolutely. And so we do a lot of work with survivors and patients. First of all, we hold monthly group meetings where we bring cancer patient survivors together and we do educational talks with them. Apart from our monthly group meeting, we do other educational sessions like understanding your diagnosis. You'd be surprised at how many people don't really understand what their diagnosis means. We do educational sessions on how to become healthier, movement, mental health. So a gamut of topics that are necessary to help in the fight. Apart from our monthly group meetings, we operate a pantry. We give financial support as best as we can. As we get more, we give more. We have our monthly Step Into Wellness segment where we help survivors and patients with movement, because movement and food are so key, the right food and the right movement. We do food demonstrations, teaching them how easy it is to put together a nutritious meal, WhatsApp chat where people can share what they're going through, what they need help with, best practices. We have daily engagement in that chat with someone who is responsible for sharing a word of the day. So we do our best to really cultivate community and a safe space for cancer patients and survivors. We have we moved into our new office space in February of this year. And so we have something called Tea Tuesdays, and we're hoping to build on that program, Dwight, where we can be open 5 days a week for people to come in, to sit, to be in community, watch TV, have tea, have something to eat, just so that they're not home. My mom struggled with the isolation of the cancer journey when she was home after having treatment. And so that Tea Tuesday is in tribute to her, and it's an open invitation for cancer patients to, come in and just be in the space. So our office hours right now are 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We operate from Commonwealth House, which is on East Avenue in the building with Dr. Mildred Hall, phenomenal landlady. And so we want to make sure that people have a space where they can feel safe, where they can come into and understand no one is judging them for feeling weak. No one is judging them because they feel ill because of the impacts of, their treatment. They're in a space where people understand what they're going through and can hold their hands as they do it. And we want to remove this stigma. A lot of people struggle with shame because they have a cancer diagnosis, and it's nothing to be. Actually, it can be a beacon of hope and inspiration once you've won your journey to help somebody else pull through their journey.
Yeah. Wow. Wonderful stuff. All right. So we're going to come back to you, Duquesa, in a bit. I want to find out how the Hope Walk is going to help in just a bit. But let's talk with Shavonnya Marshall. Again, as we said, you're a survivor, but you've got a really interesting story. Tell us about that, Shavonnya.
Yes. So when I was first diagnosed, I was on Dr. Google, and Dr. Google was telling me I had about 6 months to live.
Oh my!
At that time, so it was very, very prominent that I go ahead and that I found survivors or heard stories of persons that survived what I was going through. So I was on Google, then I ended up on Facebook, and I ran into the Gennie Dean Caring Sharing group, and that changed the whole everything for me at that moment. I was able to encounter survivors and persons that were going through the same thing that I was going through, and Miss Anita Rolle was one of them, who were a survivor who took me under, and I was able to they were able to love on me and coach me through as I was going. Finding this group changed the total cost of with my entire cancer journey. I'm a 2 times breast cancer survivor.
Wow, 2 times. How
Yes.
old were you the first time you were diagnosed?
I was 30 years old.
Wow, that's pretty young.
Yeah,
That's
30
pretty
years
young.
old.
Yeah.
So I have a strong background in my family. Both of my grandparents had breast cancer. My mom had breast cancer. So it was definitely not strange to my family.
Wow. And the second time, how old were you when you were diagnosed again?
32.
Oh, that's really soon after.
Yes, definitely. It definitely was a journey, and support is definitely something that's needed. Going through chemotherapy, like I said, the group definitely had survivors that stood by me, holding my hand, coaching me through, reminding me that giving up was not an option. And so that is prominent when you're going through situations like cancer. And like Duquesa said, it's definitely not the end. It's definitely not the end. Based on all those diagnoses, even my doctor at one point gave me about a year to live. And I'm here now, clean. So definitely don't lose hope.
Yeah. So, how boy, with the family history, how has this changed your family? I mean, so I take it it's the BRCA gene is an influence here. What's that like now? Are folks on edge? Are they taking precautions? What are they doing in your family?
Well, I lost both of my grandmothers, and then recently I would have lost my mom in July of 2025 due to the BRCA gene. But I am the only daughter. My mom had 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl, and I'm the only girl. And but I am definitely an advocate in my family in terms of ensuring that they do as much testing as they possibly can to ensure on even eating habits, anything that we could possibly do to try and stop it. I also have 2 daughters, so I'm very, very much always ahead of trying to make sure testing is done.
Yeah. Wow. But Duquesa, the BRCA gene affects men too, right? And men will be, with the gene, can be more susceptible to cancer. So even the men.
The gene can pass to men,
Yes. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot for folks. Yeah. So how can people, again, in these situations like Shavonnya, Duquesa, just what can the Gennie Dean Cancer and Caring Support Group, I know you talked about some of it before, but...
so interestingly enough, Shavonnya was in a little bit of a pickle. I think it was year before last, where she needed to travel for surgery, and her mom was having treatment and couldn't travel with her. So one of the group members actually accompanied Shavonnya Hope. I think 2 times we were able to accompany her and be with her through that journey, as well as support another cancer patient who was at City of Hope at that time, so that they knew that they weren't alone. Somebody that they know was with them in a foreign land and would be there to hold their hands. And so we do important work like that. We just want people to know, Dwight, that they're not alone. It's important for us to walk through or help people who've been diagnosed. And I say people intentionally, because it's men and women that we support, and children. And so, just let them know that yes, it may be one of the hardest times of their lives, but we're here to stand with them the best way that we can. Food, we're going to give you food. If you need a chemo needle, we're going to get a chemo needle for you. If you need a port, we're going to connect with sister to kind of help you get that port, because we don't want to duplicate work. So if one group is already working with ports, then why would we take resources to do the exact same thing? So we do our best to support and guide them also to other organizations like the Cancer Society, who also gives a financial stipend. So we give a financial stipend as well. We additional seminars that can help with mindset, because you win this battle first in your mind. And so we have a lot of conversations around being positive and the mental toll that it takes on the person, and not just the person. Like, we have events for the family. We just had a family fun day on Friday past. We went to church yesterday as a group. We have had couples events where we bring husbands and wives together. And it was, there are times when there's so much release and crying because those people don't really get recognition for what they go through and the financial impact that it's placed on the family to help someone through the journey. And so we've brought families together so that they can create memories and not just be in the hard time, but have some times where they can experience joy as well.
Yeah.
So, Shri,
Absolutely.
I feel that we're a ministry and we're ministering to those going through a hard time in life.
Wow, indeed. Shavonnya, thank you for sharing your story. Really appreciate it. All right, so Duquesa, let us know how the Hope Walk helps and what we can do to be a part of this. Give us all those details.
So the Hope Walk is one of our signature fundraisers. It allows us to generate funds to help us with operational expenses, for financial support, to stock our pantry. So the money that we get from all of our fundraisers go directly to supporting cancer patients and survivors. And so we encourage everyone to register for the walk. I mean, it's $35 for individuals, it's $30 for groups of 10 or more. If you can't attend the walk, you can register and make a donation of that $35. These funds are so vital. The work can't happen without money. And so we need the support of the community to help us help other people. So you can register for the Hope Walk. It's this coming Saturday at 6 a.m. at Goodman's Bay. Our runners go to Sandyport and back. Our walkers will go to Sandals and back. The cancer patients and survivors will go to the Scotiabank bus stop and back. But if you have mobility issues, having Coach Laurel, she's going to be doing a breathing and flexibility exercise on the park. We have Zumba on the park. We have Box Fit Nation on the park. So we'll have things happening at the park that you can participate in if you cannot physically leave the park, and come out and enjoy the celebration of life. June is Cancer Survivors Month. You're going to see survivors out there who are thriving. They're going to be dancing on the survivors ceremony. We're going to be recognizing them, and we're going to be paying tribute to Anita. We're going to be celebrating her life all throughout the morning. And so if you're interested, you can call us at 802-6012, or you can go over to gdcancersupportgroup.com, click Hope Walk, click register, and just fill out the form, pay your registration fee, and you can pick up your packages this week, Tuesday to Friday, at our group's office between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And just turn through the corner by Centerville Food Store, midway through on the story building named Commonwealth House. We're in that building upstairs.
Okay, wonderful stuff. The turnout has been growing every year, is that right?
Yes, and we have a lot of activities, Dwight. So apart from the walk itself, we're going to have a henna artist. We have Pop and Bubbles with the 360 booth. We have a photo booth. We have the Hope concert. We're going to conclude this walk in celebration of life. We have Whole Armor Ministry dancers. We have Hands of Praise. We have another mime group. I don't have the name right now. We have Colin Christopher, who's going to be in there with us as well. We have someone that's going to be on drum. And so we have a lot of activities going on. But this would not be possible without our sponsors. And if I can just send a shout out to Assure Win, Procon, Bahamas Retina and Eye Care Services, Superior Care, the Bahama Foundation, Bahamas Cable, Bahama Live Rev, Guardian Radio, Sunshine Insurance, Global Insurance Agency, Nassau Cruise Port, Zamar, Sunshine, Beach Villas, the sponsors. And we want to thank all of our partners. Too many to mention, but you can go and look at our flyer, and we just appreciate all of the support. We invite corporate organizations to put a group together to come out and show your support for this community.
And Shavonnya, you're going to be out there too, right?
Definitely.
Okay, wonderful stuff. Thank you again for sharing your story. Duquesa Dean, proud of you. Keep up the great work that you're doing. Looking forward to this event on Saturday at Goodman's Bay. Hope Walk 2026, folks. Thank you again, Duquesa Dean, Shavonnya Marshall, for being with us this morning. All right, we're going to take a break for news headlines. When we come back, we're talking with Water and Sewage. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary. Can you believe that? We're going to get into that when we get back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, June 8th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with DeAndre Cartwright. And this morning we are talking about the Water and Sewage Corporation celebrating its 50th anniversary. And we're very pleased to have with us in studio Deputy General Manager Cyprian Gibson and also Head of Public Relations and Marketing, Kendia Smith. Good morning to you. Good to see you all again.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. And happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
1976. Yes. It was a very good year. Don't ask me why I'm saying that. But anyway, all right. So it would seem that water and sewage would have been around longer than that. So clearly there was something, a precursor to water and sewage.
Yeah, definitely. People needed water.
Right.
So it came under the Ministry of Works. Basically, yeah. So just our roads and all the other. But obviously at the time, recognizing that it was a specialist need, a utility need.
Okay.
The government at the time created a corporation to execute works and to deliver water in a more structured, deliberate way.
Yeah. All right. So I'm sure you weren't the deputy general manager at that time.
I don't think I was even on it at the time.
Oh boy. All right. So let us. What changed? What changed? From what you know? What changed once that happened? Once it became a corporation?
Well, it also gives you a little bit more authority. Not necessarily have to work through the consolidated fund,
right.
And so the concentration, a lot more independence to structure works and raise capital, execute works, do projects on your with a specialized board, a specialized team, the ability to hire and develop specialized talent pool to execute the objectives, the delivery of water.
So what do we know about what it was like in 1976 in terms of staff and what has changed in these decades since?
Well, definitely there was a transition from being a civil servant, a pure civil servant, to a quasi-government institution. And so back then, it started with a small team. We now have grown to 500 employees on 25 islands and keys, some 100 different individual water systems. And then the customer base has grown now to 20,000 on the Family Islands, plus or minus, and some 40,000 on New Providence Island.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So what's going to be happening this year? Why is it important to celebrate this, and how are you going to do that?
Well, it's important. We've been starting for a while back, but we on May 26th started with our countdown 50 to 50. So we've been doing a lot of things. And if you were to pass Thompson Boulevard, past our headquarters, you would see some paraphernalia, some feather flags and things going up and some billboards around town. That's just the start of it. We hosted a jingle competition and our jingles are now playing. Right now we have a 50% off promotion. That promotion is no more than $500, but if you show us that you paid your bill in full from January to July, because July 14th is the actual birthday, you can get 50% off. We're also going to have some other social media promotions.
What? Say that again.
you need
I have to get you some information.
Okay. So you can get 50% off your bill if you showed us that you paid your bill in full, right? It's a raffle for 2 persons. And if you paid your bill in full, you email your bills at wcmarketing@wsc.com.bs, and you can enter to win our raffle, and we will take 50% off your bill.
Oh, so that means paid in full or paid it off
Paid
by
in
that time.
full.
So you got the bill and you paid it
Yeah.
immediately in full.
Yeah.
Not that you split it in 2.
No.
You got to pay it in full. Okay.
Pay it in full.
Okay.
And so not more than $500. Don't come with a $5,000 bill in there. That's not to pay that off.
Right.
No more than $500. The details are on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And I would encourage people to follow our social media right now because we're doing a lot of promotions and stuff from there. We also have coming up on July 4th, we have a fun run walk. And we want the public to participate in that. To be about a 3-mile walk from our headquarters to the 6-legged roundabout. Come up to Saunders Beach and come right
I
back.
thought you were going to make people run through water and stuff.
No.
We're going to give you water to drink.
No. We're going to give you water
The
to
best
drink.
water available.
Okay. All right.
And so we're really going to celebrate with a lot of things. Labor Day, we would have, if you were paying attention to Labor Day, you would have seen our people out there. We also have coming up this month, we have an integrated water resources management workshop, which will include plumbers, the Department of Forestry, and anyone who deals with the water table. We're going to do that. We have a softball tournament.
Wait, what day is the workshop?
The workshop is on June 23rd.
Okay.
But that's by pretty much invitation only. But these are persons who really deal with the industry and the stakeholders that we really interact with most of the time.
Well, we can start signing up for the walk now, though.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
You can start signing up for the walk. We are going yet, but we are going to put the form on our website, which is wsc.com.bs.
Okay.
And once you sign up, then you're good to go. The adults rate is $35 and kids is $15.
Okay.
Okay. And we're also looking for sponsors for this, though. And so you can call the Employee Services Department at 302-5606. 302-5606 or 302-5701 to be a sponsor.
Excellent.
Okay, so we also have a softball tournament coming up on June 27th. We have family island church services going on throughout the islands. We have coming up to heading towards our anniversary. We will have a church service ourselves in New Providence at Christ Church Cathedral. And the big day is going to be a very special day. Once you come in, you'll probably get a piece of our cupcakes.
Okay.
And then we're going to have a big celebratory event at that evening at 6 p.m. And we are going to be installing a time capsule as well. We expect to have a junk that it's going to be a wonderful affair, celebrating 50 years. There's a lot going on for the entire year, actually. And even at the end of the year, we are actually having a gala. So, yeah.
Okay.
We have a long list of events. And we want everyone to really join in on the celebrations with us. The theme for our 50th anniversary is 50 years of nation building, the future flows through us.
Okay.
And so we recognize where we have been, where we are now, and the time capsule will help us to get to the future as well when we install it. But that's what we're really looking for. We're even working on a 50th anniversary commemorative book. Mr. Gibson is going to be playing a huge part in that because I don't know all the history. I'm learning, but these are things that we are doing to let people know how far the corporation has come and how much things that the corporation is responsible for. I bet a lot of people don't even know that the water tower is connected to the Water and Sewage Corporation, a national landmark. And once it's officially open, we intend to be there front and center to see it fully functional once again.
Wow.
So there are a lot of things that are going to come up this year. This won't be the last time you see us do it.
It sounds like you'll be here quite often.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll be here quite often, but we want everyone to understand that this is a corporation that has come from humble beginnings and has achieved so much. And even me being there for a very short time, recognize that there has been a lot of achievements, especially over the last year or so. Mr. Gibson can speak more to that.
Yeah.
But it deserves to be celebrated in grand style, and that's exactly what we're intending to do.
Absolutely. All right, so Cyprian Gibson, tell us more about these milestones in the last 50 years and even before. But
Well,
what
we
would
have
you
come
say?
a long way. I think one of the most important things that we need to recognize is the corporation is basically 100% Bahamian. And increasingly, water production, water distribution, and all aspects of water are handled and managed by Bahamians. And in recent times, even our water production, we have had a long history of public-private partnerships in the production of water. So you have the private sector contributing the capital, and then you have the corporation managing that operation day to day, such that persons and consumers get a delivery of water. That aspect, we are Bahamianizing that aspect of water production. Also, where we have had significant involvement by foreign consultants and contractors, like non-revenue process of Bahamianizing that process. So beyond fully employed Bahamians at the corporation, each and every day more and more of our processes are being Bahamianized, like the management of leaks at the highest level, because it's a world-class program that we run in the efficiency of water management. And the same thing is now applying with water production. We are reverse osmosis plants. We're taking that over. We are proud of the history of the corporation. I've only had about 30 years of the 50 years. But the point that is being made is these celebrations are going on throughout the year. And the idea behind it is to involve all of our stakeholders. Everybody uses water. And sometimes we only take it for granted when the well runs dry. But every day, everywhere, everyone needs water. And so the purpose of these celebrations is to involve as many stakeholders as we can, whether it's our customers, whether it's our employees, whether it's our vendors, our partners, different government agencies that are involved in the management of water. And one of the things that we always highlight, the management of water is very integrated. And then that spoke to the planning with our key stakeholders, the persons that help to deliver water that we have to partner with, like the Ministry of Works, and all of those type of agencies. Right. So the idea is to involve many. Everybody cannot come to every event, obviously. And so we have different events tailored for different stakeholders and different focus groups.
Yeah, wow. So Candia mentioned the water tower. Tell us about that. And with the restoration going on, is it going to still play a role in whatever you do, or was that something of the past?
Right, and we are seeking to work closely with the Antiquities and Monuments Agency. But the history of the water tower was production of water for the city of Nassau. And you know the history of the city of Nassau, the immediate over-the-hill area. Right. And so that provided water supply, continuous supply early on, way back in the day. One of the first facilities is still there as a historic, more or less, at site, because we've advanced the infrastructure. We've gone to more advanced technology in the delivery of water. And you see that we have a newer one and a bigger one, to put it more simply, on top of place, the old water tower in size and capacity. But it's still a very significant location. It has the opportunity to provide added resilience to our system, and that is something that we continue to look at.
So maybe in the future it will live up to its name.
Well, It still will, yes.
It still will.
Yes. So it's been refurbished. And so we're having discussions as part of that refurbishment. It obviously wouldn't be covering the whole entire city of Nassau, but there are opportunities for small, unique areas like the hospital in that immediate surrounds, those persons on the ridge, as we redevelop and build in more resilience.
Yeah. So what can we expect over the next 50 years, or at least 5 years in the short to medium term? What are some of the big plans on tap?
Well,
that you can talk about.
We pride ourselves in being proactive. We're now exploring opportunities with AI. We're using AI
in water?
Yes.
Yeah?
I mean, we've been using AI to find leaks. So every day we have a massive amount of data. We produce water at 100 different water systems in 25 islands and keys. Imagine the data. Wow. Also, we have well fields. What we are doing is, God gave us those, and we have been using those. They have somewhat been resting well fields and making sure that we are using a sustainable yield from them. Even though we have gone to reverse osmosis water, it's very energy intensive. But the natural water costs us about a fraction of the cost. So wherever we can, we are maximizing blending of the two.
Right.
Water that's very efficient at a sustainable yield from the well fields, and combining that with reverse osmosis, which is the more expensive, higher technology based production.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So I know in a few months back when folks from the corporation were on the show, we were talking about moving from quarterly to monthly billing. Give us an update on that. How are we looking with that?
Well, that's a continued process. It's not as straightforward. It also involves the revision of legislation for billing, because that's important. And that process is moving forward progressively, and we're looking forward to rolling that out soon.
Okay. All right.
In stages.
Is that this year or?
Yes.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, in stages.
Okay. I got to ask you about this, and the text was asking about it too. But we have noticed in the last few months that at night the water pressure is lower than normal. What's happening there? What can you tell us about that?
Well, the island is divided in 190 different districts. And the production of water is not a simple process, because we have a network of more than 1,000 miles of water mains. And so the entire system is constantly being optimized. If you put in a new housing development in Cable Beach, a big tower goes up, obviously that affects the system. So that entire area has to be troubleshooted. It's not, and water costs money. And so if you waste it or you're providing too much pressure, then it tends to waste overnight in leaks. And so we have a very, like we say, even use AI, automated technology. And so each one of those systems, we try to optimize the usage at different times of the day.
Yeah.
And so that may be in pockets of areas. And once it's reported, we address it and troubleshoot it and make the adjustments. So if there's a particular concern, we'll address that and optimize that area.
So it may not be intentional.
No, and then sometimes persons have an individual issue. That's why it's very important to report it, not necessarily a systemic issue. And then sometimes we have addressed an issue, but persons, because they may have migrated to a private well, they may not be aware that the system has improved.
Okay, well, good to know.
So it's a constant process.
Yeah. This texter wants to know if the corporation is still offering well water testing for a fee.
Yes, we do. It's just under $140. We have quite a number of parameters. Of course, we encourage persons to use our water system.
Right.
If you have concerns about your well, because the concern is always the consistency in the construction of private wells. And so we know we are obligated to provide water to World Health Organization standards. And that is what we produce throughout the length and breadth of the Commonwealth. And we have professionally trained persons to manage the quality of the water. Now, when you have an individual providing his own services, that not necessarily is going to be consistent. And you can have flooding now, so that's increased contamination.
Right.
And so we can provide that service. We can just provide that for you.
We know you've had various campaigns to get people to sign up to switch over to city water, as we say. But going, you've been getting good
That's
response.
been a steady work in progress. And so we're making improvements. I think over the last 5 years, we've increased it by 10%, the percentage of persons on our water supply in New Providence alone. But of course, we continue to extend throughout the family of islands. And so new water systems, the extension of water systems in all of the islands have, grown significantly.
Excellent, excellent. Our phone lines, guys, a couple calls in there. Let's take these quickly. Callers, good morning. You're live. We're talking with Candia Smith and Cyprian Gibson with Water and Sewage Corporation. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary. What say you? Good morning.
A pleasant good morning, Mr. Strachan. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Spark here, and to your guest. Now, Dwight, I got a quick story to tell. I live in Pride Estate, just about 39 to 40 feet north pond. I've been on the well water for a while, and the water's been tested, and they were surprised at how good the water is. But suffered to be so. I've been paying sewer and meter charges for years now, and I went to water and sewage, and I asked the question, I would like to get on the city water, just a matter of switching it over, because not only is the pressure better, but I found the water to be better too. But the thing is, I wanted to find out, I'm a senior citizen, and in these trying times now, children are finding that when we came out of school, most of us, Dwight, we could have bought a piece of property, built a home. More and more lately, our next generation find it very difficult to go through that process. They're waiting for mommy and daddy to die, to leave them a home or something, and they don't know what the senior citizens had to go through paying that mortgage for 20 years, all that interest, just to leave something for them, and they don't check for you, even when you're sick. But what I'm trying to ask, right, if I come in with my outstanding, bite off something, and I could pay down on the balance, I tried social services, they wouldn't help, because all you have to live now when you get my age at 75 is your national insurance, and if you have a little pension for where you last work.
All right. Did you go in already to talk to them? Because you didn't have to call us on the radio talk.
Yeah, I think.
But you got to go in, Sparky. I'm sure.
Yeah, we've been welcome you to come in, and we also offer a senior citizens discount. And so please come on down. We take a look at your individual situation and try to resolve the matter.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be quite willing to work with him. Okay, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
Yeah, the Gibson guy. I don't know if this is the guy who went to St. John's. I know that the guy schools with some Gibsons. But I just, interesting points he brought up as relates to the well testing. But I glad he mentioned the problem with flooding. But I've heard some people call and give suggestions that were not well thought of. And I worked around the voice osmosis system for decades, and it's a long time ago, and it's still up to 2000-ish, like late 2000. Like around 2017. What I noticed is that when you dig wells, some people are of the concept that the farther down you go, the better it is, right? Let's say for seawater, so you have the brackish water mixing with the voice osmosis system, hence you'll have more organics into the membranes. Then what I found out was that when you go too deep down to the sea, you'll have seawater actually coming up into the aquifers. And do you have a problem with that? And also, as it relates to your water pressure system, there's a valve, and you'll still have water going into the tank that collects the voice osmosis water. What we did was we put a pressure relief valve with a bypass piping system, so in case the valve is closed unknowingly, you wouldn't have the pressure. You'll have a pressure release system, the water diverted somewhere else. Do you all guys put systems like that in place? And I would like to know, is the information available in the contaminants that you're finding in the water for me as a citizen who's conscious about it, and it should be relayed to the public as it relates to health concerns, given the fact that you have cancers alikes and everything, and we know that everything is environmental. But of course, it's designed to keep the people ignorant and telling them.
Okay, there was a lot there.
I could just say thank you very much. And yes, I did go to St. John's College. I'm a proud alumni of the Green Giants.
You too, both of you? Oh, wow.
And we are actually celebrating 40 years at St. John's College, my year that I graduated.
Okay. Congratulations.
So I'm dating myself. But yes, you spoke. The water sector is pretty complex that persons take for granted. And that is what I was systems, not necessarily up to controls, because first is the abstraction, the type of well, the depth of well, the type of water you want to, whether it's fresh water, brackish, or salt water, which is deep down. Then there's the water lens, which varies across the island. Oh, wow. Then, obviously the type of electricity supply that you're going to have, what type of pumps you're going to have, and even in the individual systems. If you have your own storage, different controls for when the storage is full, when it's empty, and when it comes to chlorination, consistency in that. Some people put chlorine tablets, and then when you smell it again, then you try it. But we are more scientific. Every day we test the water that have a certain chlorine residual. Wow. And so yes, there are quite a bit of technologies that we deploy to ensure consistent. By the time it reaches you, our lab just gave an update. We do some 4,000 different types of tests on a monthly basis. Okay. Some tests are daily, some are weekly, some are monthly, different parts of the system from the production right down to the customer. And so, yes, it's quite a complex matter that we do at a professional level.
That's interesting.
That is different from when you have to do your little mini production system at home.
And so I'm thinking about it now. We don't hear much about it, but the scientists, the folks who are testing the water, you have...
And we do testing for some 20 different plus type of chemicals. Yeah. And some is organics, and some are chemical tests for contaminants of water. Yeah. And even... observation, smelling it, your sensors are tested to ensure that we are providing water to World Health Organization standards.
Are there opportunities? Do you need scientists? Do you need more people?
Definitely. I mean, engineers, scientists, obviously accountants. The money has to be counted. That's very important. Yeah. And so we have all manner of careers in the water sector.
Okay, wow.
And that's why you should be on city water.
Yes.
All of that.
Right. There you go. So this is an interesting question on our text, our X, our Twitter. Somebody's asking, so the water that you all produce may be clean, but how are we sure that what's coming into the house with all those pipes that come into the house, that isn't contaminating the water? What do you do to ensure that they're getting safe water in the house? Or what can a consumer do, or a homeowner do to ensure that along the way things aren't getting messed up?
Well, we test every step of the way. So we test from the well that we get our sources from, or the well fields. We test at the station, at the pumping station, at the major systems on every island. And then we test throughout the distribution. So with that, we also do increased maintenance. And so if I was to simplify it, it's like water in your home, you try to flush it on a regular basis. If there are parts of your house that you don't use for a long period of time, the water gets stale, basically. Right. And so constant maintenance, ensuring that we flush areas on a constant basis. And that's most important in it. You have good quality water from the production at the start of the system, and then throughout the system, you continue to flush it and ensure that water is flowing on a regular basis.
We actually had a caller last week who was concerned about that, the flushing. But that's a good thing.
And if there's any concern, let us know, call the water co-op, and we will quickly come out and test our system.
How often do you do that when you go to the neighborhoods and you flush it from
constant process, constant observation.
Flushing is almost every day, and we constantly put out the notices right on our Facebook page. And I want to tell people, if you are concerned about your water and your city water, we now have channels on WhatsApp. So you can type in the WSC, and it's related to New Providence. I think we have one in Abaco, Exuma, Long Island, Eleuthera. And we have a hotline specifically for Eleuthera as well. So those notices are placed on our channels every day, constantly.
Okay.
So it is a constant thing, as he is saying, that is consistent. Every morning there's a flushing notice for certain areas, and that is what is keeping the water fresh and clean.
We know there are filters at the meter. How often are those changed, or is it up to the homeowner to change those?
90% of our customers, we provide water directly. Now, we know that we have 1,000 miles of water mains, and the typical life of a water main, 50 to 60 years. So especially when you have parts of the system like the city of Nassau that was put in a long time ago, you have to generally, just like a house, refurbish parts of the system on an ongoing basis. And so until we get to those systems, we would do a higher, more maintenance, or we may put in and work with the customers on filters while we work on the capital plan. And so right now, even we are undertaking the largest single sustained capital works program. We average about $50 million in capital works throughout the Bahamas and all islands and New Providence, changing out mains, extending the systems to areas where we have no water mains, and improving our supplies on a constant basis.
Okay. All right. Let's take one final call on this. Is running out of time. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strawn.
Hi. Good morning.
To you and the water and sewage people. I have two problems. You asking them something about the filter that is on the meters. I've been calling for them to come and check my filter or change it, starting to taste funny. But I call more on. If I had somebody here with me, I would have been able to give you the exact date that it was printed in the Nassau Guardian, Mr. Strawn. Water and sewage after the COVID had sent me a water bill. I bring it there so y'all can put it in the newspaper for $10,000. Not $1,000, $10,000. Okay? I had to come to an agreement with them. I am now down, thank God, I'm under like $1,300. We agreed that I pay X amount of money per month with my bill, without owing on my bill. So I'm trying to find out from this gentleman, if I were to come in there as a person with a eye problem, with a disability, that's what they call me now, would you think I'd be able to get something to write off, at least finish that $1,300 off?
Well, at this present moment, that water and sewage provides discounts for senior citizens. We don't have a universal policy for anything else beyond that. We try to work with different agencies, and this is an opportunity for us to reach out to social services, and that's part of the process we are doing to build our network. So you can lodge your requests, and we try to work with the different agencies to see how we come to some solution in this regard. We do recognize we are an agency of national development, water and roads, and so we have an obligation to see how we could work with you in that process.
All right, this text is asking, we did this a few years back. You remember, Sabrina, where we were drinking the water, and we did a show on this. You talked about it. Someone was asking if it's safe to drink.
Our water is safe to drink? Absolutely. I drink it, and I encourage persons. I look forward. Sometimes, I remember when the bottled water came about. Everybody used to drink groundwater. Everybody used to drink our water. Everybody was used to drinking water and sewage water, and they said that bottled water tastes funny. Now, 40 years, 30 years later, it's the opposite. So it's also a figure of preference. You get used to the bottled water taste, and you think that's the best way. But our water is safe to drink, and in fact, it's cheaper because I give you 1,000 gallons of water for just under $30. I mean, you're buying a little bottle of water. Now, sometimes there's a amount of chlorine in the water, which is very important safety requirement globally, all over the world. So if that's a taste preference, what you could do is put it in a container and put it in the fridge. The chlorine has a half base. It's just like, I wouldn't use that word, other disinfectants, but this is safe for human consumption at the levels that we do it. Very, basic levels, sufficiently to keep it safe and sanitized. That's critical in water supply. So you put that in the fridge, you fill up a gallon bottle, and it dissipates, and you'll be surprised. Train yourself for good, cheap, quality water that's provided to you by the public health system, but it's definitely safe. I put my job on it. On the line for that.
Any other tips? We've got about a minute left. Any other tips you'd give to folks water and what they can do to ensure that everything remains safe and optimal?
Well, the same basic thing. We test the water regularly. If there are any concerns, feel free to reach out to us, and we prioritize quality issues, and that quality is number one. And we would be there. We pride ourselves too. Most times when you call us, you can get a person, and we really follow up, especially on water quality matters. That's very important to us. Running your tap from time to time in areas of the house that you may not use on a regular basis.
Especially if you've been away for a while.
Yes, so you could just run it a little bit. But beyond that, we pay particular attention to quality.
And we've decided to put out some preparations for that as well. So here are a few from what we've come up with. You can store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for at least 3 days. Store water in a clean, sanitized container or bathtub. Like he's saying, you run your water and you keep it there. It's stored for several days, and then boil water for at least 2 minutes before use if it's gone for several days. And listen for official updates from the Disaster Risk Management Agency and the Water and Sewage Corporation and the Department of Environmental Health Services. And for more information for anything that the public needs, again, we are on every channel. And when people message us, we do answer. We do point you in the right direction. And you can call 302-5599 for any concerns that you do have. And I'd like to kind of reiterate what he was saying about reporting, because I think that a lot of persons just, for lack of better words, like to complain, but don't tell us about the complaint. And we're encouraging persons to really pay attention and call us and tell us, and we will answer. And I can tell you there are like a million groups. There are a million
every
groups,
island, every
island, and they are on it. When someone says there's a problem, they go and investigate it right away.
A lot of people assume that you all know when there's an issue, or that somebody else reported it already.
And then sometimes they say it's the whole neighborhood, but most times
it's one person.
It might just be you.
Yeah, and it's a constant maintenance process.
Wow.
And so your connection itself could be blocked. And then you say, pressure off, but it may just be your single connection.
Yeah, wow. And get to know your neighbors, right? Call them, say, are you having a problem, or is it just me?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't. Anyway, that's a whole other show there.
Yeah.
But Ken Diaz with Super
every day we work to get better.
Yeah, great stuff. Happy anniversary again. And as you say, you're going to be here more often to tell us about the special events coming up throughout the rest of the year. Thank you for being here again this morning.
Thank you, Dwight.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to be back in a few minutes. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Morning Blend Business will continue in just a bit.
On Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
CFAL is a proud sponsor of Team Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bowls, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Guess who's back? It's that time again for the 31st annual Michael Scootery Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic.
Bring it on now, let's go.
Whether you're a player or a fan, you don't want to miss this one. The action starts July 13th at the Hope Center. Log on to peaceonthestreets.com and register. Come on, everybody, we're going! That's the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hopes instead of guns. Game time.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alani, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
To the world, he is your dad, but to you, he is the world. Shower your dad with love with a gift from Kelly's House and Home's Father's Day sale, Friday, June 9th through Saturday, June 17th. Save 20% off selected tool sets, luggage, and fishing, diving, and camping gear, except on net items. Shop at Kelly's House and Home on Saturday, June 8th, and if you are standing on the lucky spot, you could win a gift basket for Dad. Visit our Facebook page for more information. Shop Kelly's House and Home's Father's Day sale, June 9th through 17th. Happy Father's Day from Kelly's House and Home.
We buy, you sell. We buy, you sell. We buy, you sell. Top quality, we have the best. Giving you deals is our business. We cut the high cost of living all over the Bahamas. We buy, you sell at submission. A multi-purpose hardware store. Solar lights and tiles galore. Building supplies, windows and doors. Everything in hardware we got and more. Products better than the rest. Top quality, we deliver to your address. You'll get a call or a text.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Both Rosewood Exuma developer Integra and the opponents of the proposed Rosewood Exuma development are claiming victory following the latest ruling in the ongoing judicial review challenge over the Samson Key project, despite the Supreme Court rejecting the vast majority of the disclosure requests sought by the developers' challengers. The latest dispute centers on a disclosure ruling by Justice Leigh Farquharson, who dismissed most of the requests by Samson Key Retreat Limited, Turtlegrass Resort and Island Club, and Yonder Holdings Limited for additional documents from government agencies and the project's developers, finding that many of the requests were unnecessary to determine the issues before the court. However, the applicant argued in a statement last week that the ruling nonetheless represents a significant victory because it compelled the disclosure of documents that had not been produced. You can read more about that in today's Guardian Business section. The Eleuthera Chamber of Commerce saying in a statement that while it welcomes recent government investments in the island's infrastructure, there remain concerns about whether there is a long-term economic strategy in place to sustain growth in one of the country's fastest expanding family island economies. In its response to the 2026-27 budget communication, the Chamber said that while business infrastructure spending, significant challenges remain that could undermine future growth. The Eleuthera Chamber, arguing that persistent water and electricity issues continue to affect residents and businesses across the island. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Thursday, the last trading day before the holiday. Your market movers, AML Foods Limited moving 18,900 shares, closing at $9 unchanged. Bank 5,200 unchanged at $8.40. Bahamas Property Fund moving 50,400 shares, closing at $12 unchanged. Galena Holdings moving 7,200 unchanged at $18. Commonwealth Bank moving 4,310 unchanged at $16.60. 800 closing at 720 unchanged. J.S. Johnson moving at 7,300 unchanged at $18.25. Consolidated Water up 13 cents, closing at $6.01. Emira Incorporated up 8 cents, closing at $12.59. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,218.57, up 0.21. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business with CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in to CFAL Talks tonight at 6:30 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Deandra Cartwright.
Dwight Strong.
There you go. Good to have you as we wrap up. Thank you for being here. Again, we didn't get into the BPL issue. We'll get to that tomorrow, but just widespread outages across so many different parts of the island. So it's just bizarre what's happening. And we'll try to get into this a lot deeper tomorrow about what's going on and who's responsible.
We got to touch on it, Dwight. We got to. It's impacting us.
It definitely is. Who's responsible? BPL often saying it's Bahamas Grid now. And Bahamas Grid not talking to us directly, it seems. Interesting times. Anyway, Deandra, enjoy Long Island. Have a safe trip back to New Providence. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on Guardian Talk and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.